the risk of them just waiting till the summer to just be like usurped and then having like some star like ask out and having DeJounte's value lowered is like that's a really high risk for them. I know people are complaining about Austin Reeves getting Austin Reeves in a deal. I feel like people kind of don't understand it's not just because of them getting cheaper, which I'm gonna get to the luxury tax thing later, but Austin Reeves is like an actual valuable asset that the Hawks could use to trade. I don't see Austin Reeves being in this team's long term
I
plan at
hope I
all.
hope it's not. I like
Yeah,
DeJounte's a better defender than Reeves.
like we were
So
picking on him the entire game
yeah,
during the Lakers game. There is zero reason why this team needs Austin Reeves. Like the Hawks probably want to get Austin Reeves just because he's the media loves him, everyone hypes him up. He's been to the Olympics. Like the reputation around Austin Reeves is really high. Like there are teams that want him. Like I assume if we get Austin Reeves, we're probably gonna trade him on draft night or something for like a star player or something. Like
I would
I
hope so.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
In
because
terms of like which players that are gonna be traded, I feel if you have to ask me, I feel Capela and AJ are just more likely to be traded than DeJounte because I think Quinn may be trying to just temper the DeJounte situation simply because the offers aren't that good right now. But honestly, like I said earlier, like I feel like this whole Trae DJ pairing just isn't working. They just rip the band-aid off now while they still can. And
yeah,
in terms of the luxury taxing, like yeah, we know a kind of a big part of it is just luxury tax. They're not going to pay it, but you might as well just get off players that just don't work with the system. With now, like with Capela's contract and how we know that Trae and DJ don't really work, so you might as well just move on Dejounte and Capela now while you can, in my
yeah.
opinion.
For Capela, there's been increased noise with him the more we've gotten to the deadline. It sounded like at first that the Hawks really weren't trying hard to move him. Now it's picking up a little bit. Obviously, we got a week till the deadline now, so that's expected. But for me, moving Dejounte now, I if they don't like the offers, that's fine. Okay, like that's good on Landry that he's not going to just ship Dejounte off for a bag of peanuts, right?
Yeah, I
But
respect that. I
but
100% respect that.
if he if in the summer if he keeps Dejounte, Damon, I know you wanted to wait to the offseason. How do you think, or what do you think the impact in Dejounte's value would be if the Hawks waited to the offseason and offloaded him on, like, say, draft night, for example?
In my opinion, I believe DeJounte value doesn't change. At the end of the day, you got a two-way player giving you 21, 5, and 5. At less than 30 over the next 2 years, he making less than $30 million a season.
That's the bargain.
You have control over him, and the contract don't even kick in till next season. You have control over him for 4 years. Like, why would you come off of that? You're not gonna find that nowhere else. So I believe his value doesn't move, but at the end of the day, we understand when it comes to trades, the value really is how bad a team wants or needs a player.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, man, I think moving Murray now is an awful move. Wait till the off season, because at least in the off season, if a star does end up getting disgruntled, say Minnesota tanks in the playoffs, get upset in the first round. Do they want to pay all that money? Might not. But at least now, say for a
They
cat.
actually can't. Like, it's not possible for them to
So
pay everybody on their roster.
so cat is around like 50 plus, almost 60 million. Um, you got Murray, who gonna be at 25. So that's less assets that you have to add to make money work. So I mean, you can work it from different angles. But like I said, I don't believe Murray value changes due to his production that you get now and the contract that he's on. You're not going to find that type of production for less than $30 million.
The only reason that's I'm just not in favor of that is because DeJounte is the best player on the market right now. That's the only reason. Like, if you, I'm totally, like, your point isn't like ridiculous. Like, I just have a different opinion. It's definitely like it's a good point. But for me, Paul, like, for example, like Paul George, or let's say, like you brought up Karl Anthony Towns. Like, there's a very good chance that either one of those guys may, like, Paul George can enter free agency, or Karl Anthony Towns, they're gonna look to trade him. That both those players significantly better players than DeJounte. That, in my opinion, lowers his value a little bit, because he's gonna get whatever is less for those players.
It costs more to get a cat. It costs more to get a PG.
Yeah,
like I said, it all depends on how much your team wants to give up to get said player. Does a team want to give up what's going to take to get a Karl Anthony Towns in a trade? You're going to have to make the money work. You're going to have to give him a contract extension, which is going to take you into the 50s and $60 million per. Then you still got to give up what? Draft compensation. Or you could look at a guy like a Murray as a value player. But it all depends. Like I said, it doesn't come down to the Hawks. It comes down to what team values certain players, and what does a team want to give up to get a certain player. How many teams got the draft capital and gonna have the money to go to give Anthony Towns an extension?
The Knicks probably do. That's the first team that comes to mind for me.
And that's their last move. They're done. Because that's all the draft capital they saved up. They're going to be in luxury tax. You're going to be in the luxury tax. That's the only move you can make. So, that's why you got to be able to maneuver this very wisely. Sometimes you got to turn down the Ferrari and get the Honda. Sometimes you got to do that. Unless you put yourself in a position to say, you know what? I'm going to roll the dice and get the Ferrari. You got to be ready to maintain that Ferrari for the next 4 years. That's the thing. So, I mean, me personally, I would keep Murray. The Hawks, but like I said earlier, they got to get out of the tax threshold. So that's the priority right now. The priority,
they don't have to, but we know they'll want to.
They will. They already the man said it in the report. Stein, he said it. The Hawks are trying to shed salary. That was his exact words in the article. We know why they trying to shed salary, and it's not to win games.
Yes,
I'm gonna tell you what can mess that plan up though. If the Hawks go on a little winning streak.
Yep.
You let these dudes win the rest of these games to that deadline. Guess what? Murray not going nowhere.
I'm gonna say this now. Even if they go on a 5-game win streak or something like that, they should still trade Murray and Capela. Like that should mess up the plan.
I think Capela.
They don't have a plan, and that's the problem. The only plan they have is shedding salary. That's the only plan.
We're not gonna know the plan until February 6th to the 8th.
You don't. We know what the plan is. We know what the plan is. The plan is to shed salary. That's the priority.
I know that. But I'm just saying, like, if they wanted to trade DeJounte and they still want to do it, like, we're 20 and 27. Like, I don't think there is as much. How am I trying to say this? Like, there's a very realistic chance we're probably not even gonna get past the play-in. Like, at this point, like, there's really no reason to just have like another false hope season or anything like that just because we go on another win streak. Like,
well, I hope not. I hope they don't. But in my opinion, I think the biggest priority now, like just judging from that report, especially with Quinn, I think the biggest priority now for the Hawks should be getting off Capela. That should be the number one priority this deadline.
Who taking that money off your hands, Mikey?
I mean, you might need to attach like second. I mean, I know. Well, we saw it today. Not today, but it's been rumored even since the offseason. The Rockets are interested in a reunion with Clint Capela. I mean, the Knicks obviously have a need at center. So, I mean, there are teams that can use a backup center. Like, obviously, the Rockets aren't benching Şengün for Clint Capela, but they have no backup center. I mean, Jock Landale has been terrible for them. That hasn't worked out. But they could use Capela really well. So could the Knicks. And Jericho Sims is not good.
But how many people want to use Capela this year and next year at $22 million?
Teams in my opinion, teams like the Knicks or the Rockets do, because they're not on the very tippy top, right? They're kind of like this. They're on the way up, but just getting in. So like the Rockets are starting to be buyers, and they're an okay team, right? They have a lot of people haven't noticed they've slid down. They're under 500 now. Everybody was like, Ime Udoka, like he's a good coach, but the Rockets still aren't that great of a team, okay? And
the Knicks, the Rockets don't have no star players. That's why.
Yeah, the Knicks. Well, yeah, Şengün. Well, yeah, he's not a
star player, not good player.
He's not a star. He's a rising star. He's a rising star.
They don't have no star.
But the Knicks are like right here. I mean, they're what, top 6, top 4 in the East. They're gonna battle. They're gonna try to make the Eastern Conference Finals at least. Second round.
Have you looked at their contracts, Mikey?
The Knicks,
are they in the tax?
But the Knicks, I don't know if the Knicks is in the tax yet. But regardless, they have an owner that will pay the tax.
Not for Clint Capela, man.
I don't know if they move Mitchell Robinson.
Only way you're getting off Clint, you're gonna have to attach a pick to Clint Capela.
But I think the Hawks at that point have to bite the bullet and do it, because or if they don't want to do that, you at least have to play on Onyeka Okongwu 30 minutes. I know we both agree on this about,
but we know that's not going to happen because they're not. Listen, the reason you don't see Kobe Buffkin playing, the reason you don't see Okongwu starting, the reason why you see Seth Lundy come up here, get like 3 minutes and they send him back, is because they know. Most fans, when they see those young dudes out there, you don't see Murray, you don't see one of the veteran players on the team, and you start seeing more Buffkin, when you start seeing more Lundy, when you start seeing a combo starting, fans already know what time it is. And what's going to happen is it's going to affect what? Season tickets. Because now you're going to have fans saying, we're not even trying to compete. We're developing. Why am I giving you my hard-earned money to why I can watch these dudes develop from home on TV for free? See, it's all strategy behind it. It's all strategy, because what do we know, Mikey? We know Tony Wrestler wants that arena packed. We know he want them tickets sold. We know this already. And like you tell me, like Matt tell me every time I say this, even though I'm being sarcastic when I say it, until somebody come out and say we are rebuilding, retooling, whatever you want to use, I expect this team to go out here and compete, but they're not going to do that.
No, yeah,
because they know it's going to affect what? The money, the business side, right? Let's be honest, Mikey. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. Murray is not stopping Quinn Snyder from playing whoever he want to play. He can play whoever he wants to play.
No, I agree. I agree with you there. I think the biggest reason Kobe Buffkin hasn't played is because of what I said on Space to you, a few days ago about, the vibes in the locker room. Is this team? He'll only get like maximum 10 minutes, and that's not enough to fully develop, especially a guard in today's NBA. He's getting 35 a night, crushing the G League. I mean, you saw Trae after the game against the Lakers. He said, Kobe's dominated down there. He's an NBA player. He's a league player. That's what Trae said.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. Dominate down there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think that's the reason Kobe's not playing, just because, the vibes of the locker room. We'd only get 10 minutes here. But moving DeJounte, I feel like he would play Buffkin if they move him, but I don't think DeJounte's the sole reason that he's not playing.
Right. And I agree with it. I agree with that. Only thing I disagree with is I think they just not playing them up here now because they don't want us looking like a development team.
Okay.
In my opinion, because fans are gonna be like, hey, what are we doing here? Why am I paying thousands of dollars for these season tickets? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, hey, you're right, Southside. Fans thought that too, and you can jump in whenever you want. But yeah, fans thought that too.
What do you say? We are going on the heat.
I was about to say,
that's why he got mad, Mikey.
Yeah,
That's why he got on Landry. That's why he got on I don't know why people try to front like they don't know what time it is, man. That's why he got on them. Because what did that we discussed this, Mikey. That showed a disconnect from the owner and the front office.
And we've been talking about that for years and years.
It's a disconnect. He thinking one thing. Now, I will say this in defense of Landry in the front office. It's hard for Landry to do the job and get results when the owner is putting him on so many restraints.
Yeah.
It's hard, and that's why I wanted that's why I prefer an experienced GM. But now that I think about it, it probably don't even matter, because the way Tony Wrestler move, it don't matter who in charge. He gonna do it the way he want it done. If you don't get the results, he gonna start meddling, and that's why we in this position now.
Yeah, go ahead, Ant.
Y'all can talk. Give me a second.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. But yeah, there is a restraint on Landry. I don't think you can trot this same team out there for the next however many months left in the season and just say, okay, we're going to do all this in the offseason. That's putting a lot of pressure in one offseason to change a lot of things that need to be changed.
But that's why I said, Mikey, what I said in the chat earlier today, I said, maybe it was the health. If we can get our top 8 guys to play 10 to 15 games
in a row,
that will give you a real good sample of what we need to.
We had 13 of those games at the beginning of the year. Remember, you know, I was on about this. 8-5, top 17. We're 17th or 18th in defensive rating with a top three offense.
So watch
That's
this.
That's good for this team. That's all they need on defense.
When Jalen went down, because I think Jalen went out before Hunter, if I remember correctly.
He did.
What was our record when Jalen went down?
8-5.
8-5. So say they never get hurt. And right now let's just say we are 30 and 22, right? How many games that fit? How many games we played? Well, let's say we're
47 games.
Let's say we're 25 and 20, right? Or excuse me, 27
25, 22.
27 and 20. Say we're 27 and 20, right?
Okay.
Are you what's the word? Slip my head. Are you concerned at the deadline? Are you buying or are you selling at the deadline?
You're buying. I mean, you said DeJounte was a candidate to get traded earlier in the season. If you're the front office, they had put that out there. But if you're 7 games over 500 and you don't buy, that there's a problem.
So let me ask you this. Do you believe 27 and 20 is a realistic record for us to have if Jalen and Trae never get hurt?
Yes.
So,
but you can't rely on that.
I'm going to say something. I feel like if we had the same injury luck as we did last season, we probably would be on the top of the play-in. But it probably would have just covered so many of the issues with this team. We only have one power forward on this roster.
That's true.
And stuff like that. Capela declining, Onyeka still not starting. So maybe and the fact that if one person just goes out, this whole team just collapses. So maybe this happening is just a blessing in disguise for the front office to realize that there just has to be major changes done, because every year since the ECF run, this team has just gotten worse and worse every year. So
that's true. I want to say this to Mary Ellen's point real quick. When is Trae not hurt? I mean, yeah, that's true. He's not a durable player, but the Hawks themselves didn't do him any favors when Jalen went down, playing him 34, 33 minutes a night. that is not something you should have been doing. But
Shout out Quinn Snyder.
yeah, that was just dumb.
And on that point right there, well, not that point, but what Ant was saying, having one power forward, that's on Landry Fields.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. Well, and also the fact that they thought Sadiq Bey could be a power forward.
And it's on, and well, they probably thought he could be a power forward. Why? Because the owner's being cheap. You got a mid-level sitting right there at 12
always
million.
comes back to the owner. Always comes back.
You got a mid-level sitting right there. You telling me you get hit with the injury bug, right? And you're like, man, we got 50 guards and one forward. Hey, Tony, but you got 8 to 12 million available right here. That's still not going to put you in luxury tax. Can we use that or some of it, half of it, to go get a decent backup jag, just a guy who could come in here, fill the role till we can get back up healthy. We didn't even, this how I knew we won't about nothing. Mikey, all those injuries, how many people we signed to a 10-day contract?
Well, we didn't have any 10 days left. So it was impossible. But
where were they at?
G League.
Why was our 10-day contracts in the G League?
When our guys are hurt, I don't know. Well, Seth Lundy was actually, that's not true. Seth Lundy was here when Jalen got hurt, but then he got hurt. Remember, he twisted his ankle in the Bulls game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but where's
so he was playing Seth Lundy.
Where's our 10-day contracts at?
10-day contracts. I don't know how those work, but yeah,
we could have went and signed.
Well, our roster was full.
We could have signed, bro. They could have sent. They could have cut somebody. They not going to cut one of the guards. Cut somebody. Put somebody on the 10-day that fills a position of need until we get back healthy.
Yeah.
My whole point is this. My point is this. The front office ownership show us. They wasn't trying to win nothing. They wasn't trying to compete. Teams that's trying to compete, when they hit injuries, what do? They'll cut somebody and go get somebody. Whether it's a 10-day, whether it's a veteran free agent for on a vet minimum. Our front office, and when I say front office, I'm mainly talking about Tony Wrestler. Our front office showed us he's not trying to win. He's not trying to compete. And how many years has he told us he would spend money in order for us to win? You know what he's doing, Mikey? He's trying to wait. He's doing it backwards.
Perfect moment. He's trying to wait.
Right. He's doing it backwards. He wants you to get the young dude for cheap.
And then pay the tax.
Turns into the max guy. Right? Which is cool. When you don't have one, we have a max guy. We have a superstar,
and we have a young star, most likely in Jalen.
And you gotta but they don't want to put the pieces around it because he don't want to spend the money. I mean, at the end of the day, man, listen. I know one thing. I know Russell want to get to the playoffs or that play-in because he wants the extra games that stay.
Does not want to tank, and I don't think the Hawks in general want to tank either. I know Wrestler doesn't want to, but I don't think the Hawks in general do either.
Which is weird when you say that. The owner, hey Mikey, you my GM. You better not lose, but here's the limitations you need to operate on. Like, how does that sound? That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Mikey, I want you to build me a team that can get me to the playoffs, but you can't spend over what's the cap this year? 139. You can't spend 150. You can't spend 150 million.
CBA too.
Everything got to be on 150 million. Like, somebody got to tell Tony, we know you're a billionaire, man, but in pro sports, you can't have it both ways in pro sports, man. You can't be cheap and try to win in pro sports. You know why? Because you got owners who will spend the money.
Yeah.
So what's the Suns owner name? He didn't waste no time.
Matt Ishbia.
Now you can say whatever you want about how the team is built, but one thing a fan not gonna say, hey, no, he ain't trying.
He is trying, yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets owner, you can say one thing about him, how they did Kyrie, whatever, but you can't say they didn't try. When the last time you can say the Hawks tried? Never. Think about it, Mikey. Both Eastern Conference final runs we had. What improvements did we make to the roster after that? Pick one of them.
None.
Exactly. If anytime you're gonna go into the tax, that's the time to go into it. Okay, and it don't have
that
to
was
be
ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Especially the 2021 run. Like I can kind of understand the 2015, 2016 just because that team really didn't have a star on it. It had an aging Millsap. Like I could understand it. Okay, I could kind of see it. But at that 2021, that was horrible. Just leaving the roster as is and not doing it like that was
DeLon Wright, and that's it.
And
yeah, DeLon Wright, yeah.
And that's why I always ask people, what make you think anything is going to change from the ownership standpoint? So when they trade Murray, and this is what I try to get across to fans, they're not trading him to get better. He don't care. They're trading him to save money. Look at our cap. We are ruined. Huh?
We're at the tax line right now.
No, we have 9 million. We're 9 million from the luxury.
That's what I mean. Like we're basically at the tax.
Yeah, you 9 million from the tax. Next year, if you just bring back everybody on this current roster,
we're in the tax.
So that's the priority is to get. They want to get under the tax because he don't want to pay it, and he's gonna hit the fans with, would you pay the tax? This team is a 25 and 45 team. Would you pay it? Woo, woo, woo. Let me tell you one thing I learned, Mike, and I'm gonna shut up. I don't care what a billionaire has to pay. I don't care about a billionaire's pockets. Pay it. You're a billionaire. Your franchise is worth over $3 billion. And you want me as a fan to sit here and say, oh, I'm so worried about Tony Ressler paying. Pay it. And guess what? Get you a competent general manager to navigate the penalties that you pay when you hit the first apron. Because guess what, Mike and your aunt, all your contenders, they at the first apron of the tax. You think they care about, hey, you know what, man? We're gonna lose out on this mid-level exception, bro. Hey, man, if we want to trade, we ain't gonna be able to get on. We ain't gonna be able to get this guy off the bow. They don't care about that because they got championship aspiration from the get-go. From the get-go. And and you know what, Mikey? I wouldn't even be tripping if he ever did it. He's never taken a shot for us to go for a title. Never. Since he's on this team. And I'll be quiet.
Maybe the Hawks could surprise us on the trade deadline and get LeBron James. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
But I think, but this is if you're looking from purely a basketball perspective, I think this is the main reason they're looking to trade DeJounte, though, is because of that defensive end. Because if they're looking to keep Trae, and by all accounts they are, then that is a guy that you need to look at as expendable because you need to get a guy who will be that great a defender next to Trae because we know how poor he is on the other side of the ball. So, no, on that side of the ball. No, he's not poor on offense. So yeah, I think from a purely basketball perspective, it's less about offensively what he's done because I think DeJounte has been really good offensively actually this year. He's just surpassed my expectations, especially from the three ball. But defensively is where it's been that iffy.
You know what the difference was in that Laker game we played, Mikey?
Yeah.
Trae Young guarded a guy the whole game. He didn't play free safety.
He doesn't play free safety. There's that.
Yes, he does, bro. Yes, he does.
Man.
Y'all can sit there and try to listen. I watch all the games. Y'all see
Trae just went down.
Y'all see me here watching these games. Who got traded?
The Memphis Grizzlies are trading Steven Adams to the Houston Rockets for Victor Oladipo and 3 second-round picks. So Steven Adams out for the year.
So that kills the Capela trade to the Rockets.
Capela to the
no, but Adams is out for the season.
Adams is out for the season.
He's not playing.
Oh yeah, dang.
So wow, I'm kind of confused by that move. Yeah, Steven Adams.
Easy. Go look at the money. What's Steven Adams' money?
I think $12 million a year.
So. How many years left on his deal?
Let me check.
See, look, even Tangy says that's cap.
What's
What?
cap?
That about free safety. See, it's
Listen.
not true. He does not play free
Yeah, he
safety.
does. He sits right there. He'll guard a guy. The guy go in the lane, and he passes the guy off, and then he turns his head. That's why he always in the lane. That's why he's getting the steals. He don't get his steals at the perimeter. He get a majority of his steals when he's in the lane, in the paint. Why is my 6-foot point guard in the paint?
I'll have to look at.
Yeah, come on, just watch along so I can point it out to you, like I be pointing out to everybody. I'll be pointing it out. I'll be like, watch what he do.
You might be confused with playing 2-1 with roaming, but because for example, when a guy has the ball in the post on one end and the floor spread out with two guys on the opposite side, you only need one guy to guard those two people, because the pass, you got one guy guarding the pass, you can get one guy guarding the player. But I think you maybe can be confused with that. But
I said right here, Mikey,
free safety.
I said right here, watch him pick up a guy at the perimeter. The dude dribbled in the lane. Trae just passed the dude off. He just passed the dude off.
No,
Tanju, don't do that. Don't act like I don't want to sit here and watch the games, Tanju. But my whole point is this. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you put beside Trae until Trae defends his man the whole game.
He tries to defend his man.
To me, that's a difference maker right there. That's a difference maker on the defensive side. Because it's just like when people tell me about Murray. Well, Murray was this dude in San Antonio. Who was the other guard beside him? A better defender than he was, exactly. So I don't know why people expect a guy to come in here and cover up a lot of defensive issues. In a minute, you about to see JJ get tired of it, because I see him on the court shaking his head half the time when he covering down for somebody, because somebody messed up an assignment.
A point of attack defender.
Listen, the point of attack defender ain't finna save you, bro.
I mean,
it ain't gonna save you, bro. But hey, listen.
No.
Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna sit right here. I'm gonna just sit right here.
It would probably solve a good bit of issues. I'm not gonna lie.
But well, I'm gonna sit right here and I'm gonna just watch. And whoever they get, whoever this point, I'm gonna ask y'all who's the point of attack defender whenever they make these trades. Whenever they make these trades, I'm gonna say Mikey and who's the point of attack defender? Hold on, because I'm gonna watch, and I'm gonna watch these scores, and I'm gonna look at these numbers. And I expect these numbers to go down drastically, because y'all saying the issue with the defense is 1 point of attack defender. That's what y'all telling me.
I'm not saying 1 point of attack defender.
Yes, y'all are, because you only say Murray. I ain't heard you say nothing about Bogey not defending nobody. Bogey give up all the Olays.
We say stuff about Bogey. This is a bad defensive team. We know this is a bad defensive team. Like we've been a bad defensive team.
We've been bad for 3 years.
I know. Yeah, I agree.
But the fact I think most people are doing that because that the expectations that were placed on Murray weren't rooted in reality. That we know it now, at least.
Yeah.
Say that again, Mikey.
I think the expectations weren't rooted in reality when Murray first came to Atlanta, especially on defense. That's what I think.
Hey, listen. I knew it wasn't gonna change shit anyway, to be honest. Because we get targeted. So I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm gonna sit right here and I'm gonna wait for them to trade Murray. And I'm gonna ask y'all, okay, who's the point? If it's Kobe Buffkin, whoever it is.
Yeah, whoever it is,
I expect this defense to improve immediately.
Just whoever it is.
I'm gonna ask y'all when they trade Murray. I'm gonna say, well, who's the point of attack defender on the team that we got?
None right now except Trent Forrest.
That's right.
And he's sorry. He getting cooked. He one of the worst defenders out there.
He's not
Let's
the
be
worst,
honest here.
He's the best defender on the team, and he's not even that good. That's the point.
Awful.
He's the best defender on the team, and he's not even that good.
And he on a two-way. That's awful. That's bad. That's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So,
terrible.
It depends. The only trade in which I think the Hawks get better defensively is if they do the trade with Grimes, and that really doesn't look like it's going to materialize at all.
Unless they trade AJ.
No, that ain't happening.
Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah,
Knicks,
I agree.
I think if the Hawks end up making a trade with the Knicks, it's gonna be on February the 8th. Because I think the Knicks are gonna exhaust every other option not to give up multiple first round picks for a DeJounte Murray. They're gonna try, because our last report I heard they was kicking the tires on Bridges, but the Nets, which is crazy, they just made Bridges unavailable.
That's crazy to me.
Like, I'm like, this dude an all-star or something? Like, what?
Bro,
What the world?
Bridges to me, he's a good player, right? I like watching him. Good player, but he's not a number one option championship team. Like, if a team was willing to trade 4 protected first round picks for Mikal Bridges, or 4 first round picks for Mikal Bridges in general, you don't take that if you're the Nets.
I think they didn't take it to try to save face.
You think so?
Because 2 of those picks are their own picks.
Oh.
It's their 2025 unprotected. Matter of fact, it's 2 of their picks in a pick swap. All the stuff they gave Houston to James Harden, Houston trying to give it back to him for Mikal Bridges. So Houston really not losing nothing. They're just giving back what they got for Harden to get a younger player that they think is better. But like I told you, they missing a star. They don't have a star player. So I guess they're looking at Mikal Bridges as a star player.
Could be. But yeah, Frank, we're just explaining the trade there. Next year, the Rockets are going to have a good backup center. It's just Şengün. Like, Capela, I don't see Capela going there now at all. I mean, the Grizzlies won't want him.
It's the contract. Like I said, Adams make how much again?
Well, $12 million.
It's
not just the contract.
It's just the fact that Steven Adams is a better player.
Yeah,
and he cheaper.
Yeah,
it's common sense. It's I'm gonna get the better player who making $10 million less than this dude over here. Why would I? Don't ever take the money out the equation, guys. Never take the money out. Never. Because I guarantee if Clint Capela and Adams made the same amount of money, they would have traded for Clint. Why? Because Clint not injured. They could have used him now. They paying half a year's salary for a guy who not playing, and they hope he gonna get back to his old self next year. It's the money, man. Clint just make too much money right now, man. You gonna have, if you want to get off him, you got to attach a pick. But then, is it smart to hold on to Clint? Because next year he expiring. How much do you value expiring contracts? I mean, it's a whole bunch of moving pieces, man. A whole bunch of things. You feel me?
You don't value him if you don't plan on resigning him. If you don't plan on resigning him, you don't value him at all. What going on with you, D?
Man, where you been at, bro?
Hey, man, I'm on a YouTube journey right now. What's up with you, Mikey?
What's good, Blackberry? It's been a minute.
It has, my guy. I've been meaning to catch you hooping too.
Yeah, I've been going with we went with Greg. We went with Greg and Mike a couple times. It was pretty fun. Yesterday we went.
Yeah, but I mean, we stuck.
So what you just said, D. So what you just said, you don't value this. This why I think you got to figure out a way to get off Clint before this deadline.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, how much do you value expiring contracts? If you don't plan on re-signing them, you need to get off of them now. And you can't be indecisive on whether or not you want to re-sign them or not. You need to know whether or not you plan on sticking with Clint now. Or I mean,
they can't if they plan on sticking with Clint.
That's the problem. That's a problem, Blackbird. They don't know what they want to do, because
they keep switching it if they do know.
The only way you getting off Capela at this deadline is you got to give up a first round pick for somebody to take that money, because Clint value is 0. You can give up the Sacramento pick and get off the money, but then like I said, since we don't know the plan, I mean, if the plan is to you shedding salary, you're gonna need those picks, because you probably gonna need them rookies for some depth once you start dumping all this salary.
Yeah, and if you do want to compete at the end of next season, you're going to look to trade them in the offseason.
So I mean, like the Hawks put themselves in a terrible contract situation, man, and they do it by extending these guys. What I like to say is for no reason, meaning they're restricted guys. You have the final say. The worst thing that happens for you is you lose a player for nothing, but you're not stuck on a bad deal. It's the same thing for Hunter. You're not getting off that contract. He owed after this year, he owed another $70 million. And people gonna look at his injury history and be like, do we want to take that gamble? Not for free. We're not taking that gamble. So I mean, when you look at the contracts, man, that we got, our front office, whoever it is, Travis, Landry, Wrestler, Nick, whoever did these extensions for no reason at all. Now we're in this predicament. Because guess what? If you don't get Clint that extension, he gone last year. Right? If you don't get Dre Hunter, if you let Dre Hunter go test the market, maybe you're not paying him $20 million, maybe you're paying him 16, 17. But since the Hawks, I don't know what their plan was at the time when they did all those contracts. Whatever the plan was,
I wish we would have known. Yeah,
they pivoted off that direction. Whatever it was, they pivoted.
But don't it seem like it was just them just signing people just cause, without any real end game in mind, without any real goal in mind? Because if you really trying to build around Trae, then you trying to give Trae what he desperately is looking for, which is that triple pick and roll action with two guys he can run that with. He ain't got but one guy he can run that with because Clint just ain't doing. I don't know what in the hell happened with Clint on the pick and roll. It ain't there no more. It ain't consistent enough with Clint. He can get it out of. He can get that out of your boy
Jalen.
Jalen? He can get that out of Jalen, but he need another. Well. Not if
my bad. I thought you were talking about the center position. My bad.
No, I'm just talking about two guys, whether it's at center or whether it's at forward, that he can run that triple pick and roll action with, and he can also rely on one of them to be able to shoot the three. Now, see, right now, Clint can't shoot. Clint can't finish under the basket for nothing. So you got to get somebody in there that ain't got them stiff ass wrists and fingers, that can get up there and get them boards, but can also finish under the basket.
We don't have no money, Blackbird.
You got no money, but you got to figure out how to make something twerk. But thing is, y'all, can we just keep it 100? We don't trust the damn wrestlers. Nick Wrestler, he's a punk ass someone, you know what?
They will.
I mean, the owner put him in charge. I mean,
We'll see what it goes, but in my opinion, the priority now has to be moving Clint Capela at the deadline, seeing what you have on Onyeka Okongwu in 30 minutes, because he's never been able to play 30 minutes in his career for a long stretch of time. Never seen it.
Let me ask you, Mikey.
Never seen it?
If a team came to you right now, Mikey, and said, hey, Mike, we'll take Clint off your hands, give me that sack pick, would you do it?
Because the draft situation, probably not. But 3 seconds, like that trade with Houston right now, that 3 seconds, like if that was to the Hawks, 3 seconds, I would take that.
You're not getting that because he had $22 million. I'm trying to tell you why Clint is still on this team. The money.
You might be able.
No,
that's why nobody. I bet you
the Rockets have a big need there. Now they didn't satisfy it with that. Obviously, they're doing that for next season for Steven Adams because he's out for the year.
Say that again, Mikey.
That Steven Adams, that deal, that doesn't help him this year. That's just for next year.
And Steven Adams,
because Steven Adams is out for the season.
Mikey,
Capela would have helped them now, and they have an area of need that they need now.
Listen to me, Mikey.
They would have paid those second round picks for Capela.
Mikey,
I think
they rather go and pay the second round pick for a dude who not playing until next year. Do you unless
exactly,
you believe
Rashad? Exactly. Exactly. They want to be a playoff team. Houston wants to be a playoff team.
Mikey, listen to what I'm saying. They rather give 3 seconds for a guy who not playing none this year. None. Instead of giving you whatever the Hawks is asking for Clint Capela, who could have helped them now. Remember, I said that earlier.
Well, I mean,
Because of the money.
What would we get it? What would they be willing to give us anyway?
They probably give you a couple second-round picks because they know we want to get off of them. But like I said, Clint Capela at $22 million is going to cost you a first-round pick for a team to take that money. I'm telling y'all right now.
You think it's going to be a first-round pick, D?
Listen.
Capela would only generate a first-round pick if he was paired with, like, for example, DeJounte in a trade. Maybe.
No. I said it's going to cost us a first-round pick, meaning we have to attach a pick to Clint, so they will take on that money.
And they don't want to do that
because of how much money it is.
And they already know. Teams already know. One, we know we got to get on that. We got to get on that luxury tax. They already know that. They know it. So ain't nobody out here doing nobody no favors, dog. They gonna let you. That's why the Hawks. That's why I'm asking you, how bad you want to get off Clint? If Clint money or Clint's performance is affecting the team in such a negative way, how bad do you want to get off that dude? If you don't want to attach a first round pick to get off that money, then all that other stuff don't matter. Because guess what's not going to happen as long as Clint here? Onyeka not going to start. He not going to get 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling y'all, man. It's happening.
I think it matters how patient are they willing to be. Because if you're patient, if you're willing to be patient enough, you go ahead and get off of them now and you just think about it. You just think about replacing what you're going to be missing a couple years down the road. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah.
No.
Also, you just have to like Okongwu's still only gonna get. He's 22. Like he's only gonna get better.
Is he though? Is he?
I think he has a good way to go. Yeah.
The thing is this.
I think his ceiling about reached.
Blackberry. No, I don't.
Disagree.
I don't think we have the owner don't have the patience. He's shown us that already. Yeah. He don't have the patience, and he really expects this team to be winning games. I don't know where he gets that from. It's Landry and Kyle and Nick feeding him some nonsense. But he don't have patience to say, hey, we'll wait 2 or 3 years. Because guess what? It's like I was telling Mikey. As soon as them season tickets sales drop, he's concerned.
I think he expected 3-point shooting to miraculously become very, very good. I think that's because the way the damn team is built, you got to shoot lights out in order to get to put together consecutive wins, 4-5 games.
Well, you know what's funny. You know what's funny. Then we're gonna wrap it up here in a minute or two. I said it early on the show. In the month of January, the Hawks were 18th in defensive rating. That's perfectly fine for this team, the way they know and play offense. But
18th is
some of these stats and some of these stats, you weren't here, Blackberry, yet for some of these stats. Brad Rowland posted on Twitter early today. The month of January, the Hawks fell to 23rd in offensive rating, 28th in effective field goal percentage, 26th in mid-range shots, 27th at rim percentage, 29th in corner threes, and 28th in overall three-point percentage.
Just ass.
If the Hawks would have just played their maybe even if they were a average offense or just a below average offense, they'd easily be 4 or 5 games over 500 in the month of January.
Now, Mikey, easily. when you run those numbers, let's see, month of January, who's in a slump?
Yeah, that's why I said it earlier on the show. Bogey and Sadiq, that really took a
They're the ones who, and it's because not just they were slumping. But it's the fact like Bogey's usage is so high. Bay's usage is so high for those guys to be in a slump like that.
Yeah.
Bay
not so much, but Bogey, yeah.
Because what do we do know? We do know mid-range, our main mid-range guy. We got 2 guys that's awesome at mid-range, DeJounte and Hunter. Hunter was out.
He was
So
out. So
he didn't affect it. And Murray been on fire. So, I mean, we know it ain't those two. So, I mean, it just goes to show
it was
you,
weird.
man,
It was weird. It was a weird month.
it just goes to show you, man, like, and I really believe this, and I'm going to say it right here on Mikey's show. I really believe this. I really believe if we, and I said it earlier, if we can get our top 8 guys for 10 to 15 games, I bet you, let's say 15 games. If I could get up for 15 games, 12 to 15 games, I guarantee you in that stretch, they'll be above 500.
Yeah. And that's
They
what
will
I'm
be
trying to
above
take Jared
500.
earlier in the season.
Yeah.
But, you know,
They will be
I think they
above.
win 10 out of them 15.
They will be above 500. I'm telling you that right now. After all the smack I done talked, I really sat and just looked at the team, and I was like, what did I say that? Did I say that yesterday, Mikey, in the chat? I was like,
yeah, you
about
did.
the health. I was like, maybe it was the health. Because
it's
what
just
I saw against the Lakers, that was a whole completely different team right there, man.
And
Yeah.
they ran the Lakers up and they ran the Lakers up out of there, boy.
Energy. I seen Trae chasing Austin Reed. I mean, Austin Reed lit him up, but I don't care about that part.
Yeah.
What I care about, I seen the effort there. And now you can say it's because of Dre Hunter or whatever, but hey, get our top 8 guys, and I think we could make the playoffs with the top 8 guys.
Like, win the play-in and get to the playoffs. I mean,
and that's why I asked you earlier, Mikey, what was our record before we started losing the dudes?
Yeah, 8-5.
And we agree that
yeah.
if we kept all our dudes, 27-20 record right now is a realistic record that we could have had.
I think so.
And what would that put us?
I could have swore some folks done told you that a couple times before, my guy. You done been told that now, D. You coming now, but now you coming to that realization, huh?
Wait, I was told what? What I was told?
That we was that before we when we had started losing our guys, we was playing well.
I already knew that.
Okay. I thought you was arguing against that a few times. Okay.
No. Listen, when I speak on Quinn Snyder, right, I'm really trolling Matt. That's all I'm really doing. I only speak on Quinn Snyder because Matt was talking so much smack, and I'm just using my time to get back at Matt. You know what I'm saying? I understand at the end of the because I said it last season.
You know, I'm high on Quinn, but I'm not as high as Matt. I thought this seemed to be better.
The problem was the roster, right?
Man,
now
over the top.
And it's in the defense. But I mean, I think we could make a run to the playoffs if we can stay healthy. The problem is you can't stay healthy.
No. Dre's always getting hurt.
They need to bring Hunter need to come off the bench like he did against the Lakers. And I would probably play him I probably would shave. He was on minutes restriction. I think they said it was going to be in the 20s.
Yeah, it was 16 last game.
It was 16. That's probably good for him right there. Good 16 minutes right there.
Yeah, for like the first few games. And then I think ideally you want Hunter, once he's fully back ramped up, high 20s.
Yep.
I think that's a good point.
And like I really want to
28, 27 minutes. I think that's good.
Yep. I mean, I think
we need Hunter badly. That back line is just so unorganized.
Mike, I think if you play him 20 minutes, 20, you know, he'll probably hit the occasional 27, you know, depending on what type of game we got. I think that also extends his career. You know? It extends his knees. You feel me? Because we stuck with him anyway. So that's what they need to be doing with Hunter. Find out ways how we can extend this guy's career while he's in the contract with the Hawks. Feel me?
Agreed.
But I'm about to bounce, Mikey.
Yeah, I was going to say we're ending it here too. But yeah, make sure to let everybody know about I assume you're doing a watch party for the game tomorrow, right?
You know I am. Oh, watch party tomorrow, gang. Y'all know what time it is. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Watch party tomorrow. Post-game live show tomorrow. We giving away a ticket to the Clipper game.
I'm gonna be there in the building for that game. So
the Clipper game, which is I think February 5th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we got a ticket we giving away tomorrow for the Clipper game and the post-game live show. So make sure y'all tap in, man. Appreciate you, Mikey, for having me on your channel. This Georgia Sports Nation and recapping Hawks hoops.
Yeah.
Salute to Georgia Sports Nation, Miss My mind went blank.
Maggie
Damn, I
T.
Maggie.
Miss Maggie T. Salute to Miss Maggie T for allowing me to come on her platform. I appreciate that. And appreciate Mikey for letting me come on recapping Hawks Hoop. And salute my guy Black Bear. We wait for him to come back over there. We missing that southern drawl over there, Black Bear. Oh,
I'll be back soon, man.
you
I'll
gotta
be back
come get
soon.
some of this. You gotta come get some of this Kool-Aid action, bro.
What this about some Kool-Aid? I don't even know who the hell Kool-Aid is.
You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. You gotta get over. You gotta make your way over there. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay.
But hey, with that being said, we're gonna end it right there. Appreciate y'all tuning in for Jordan Sports Nation. Don't forget, next week it'll be during the last few minutes of the deadline, so it'll be an exciting show next week, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys next week. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Allah.